All right. Ugh, bald. That's much better. All right, thanks, guys, and welcome to our college basketball free pick video here today for Saturday, January 22nd, 2022. My name is Brock Page, and I do sports picks for free right here on YouTube. And I'll tell you what, I'm feeling great on a Saturday morning because we went 3-2 in my 5 premium bets on brockpage.com yesterday. And if you want to see which one of these free YouTube picks on my channel that I'm actually betting on personally, there's only one way to do that, and that's to sign up for a membership on my safe and secure website at brockpage.com. Now, we're 2-0 in our last two $1.99 daily best plays on that very same webpage. And if you want to access today's $1.99 daily best play, the link for that pick is in the description section below. Now, we currently have over 880 members who are signed up and active on that site right now. And with that, guys, let's go ahead and get into some free content. We got a couple of really good early games, so let's go ahead and bang these out. Maybe, lightly bet a few of them before the NFL playoffs start. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive into it. We're going to start with Rutgers taking on Minnesota, and that's going to be a 12 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Now, Minnesota's -1.5 with the total at 131. Now, the Gophers are 5-3 straight up at home this season, and they've done a real nice job on the defensive end of the court. Having said that, though, they are currently on a 4-game losing streak, and they're also averaging only 68 points a game on their home court. And equally as bad, Minnesota's amongst the worst in the Big Ten in home offensive rebounding. They're taking on a Rutgers team who won 6 out of their last 7 ball games themselves, with marquee victories over the likes of Iowa, Maryland, and Michigan during that stretch. Gotta kind of think they snuck up on these teams, but I don't know. They've, taken care of them handily. And as a matter of fact, the Scarlet Knights, they held Iowa to just 46 total points in their most recent outing. Iowa's one of the best scoring teams in the entire country. So that was a great performance by Rutgers. I got beat personally on that game. But when it comes to defensive play, Rutgers is allowing only 63 points a game. And they're limiting their competition to only 39% shooting from the field. Now, scoring-wise, Ron Harper Jr. is averaging 16.5 points a game, along with 6 rebounds and 47% shooting from three-land. Meanwhile, Geo Baker, he's still plugging away at Rutgers. He's averaging double-digit points a game, along with 2 rebounds and 4 assists. Feels like Geo's been in Piscataway for forever. But anyway, speaking of boards, the Scarlet Knights, they've done a pretty good job of offensive rebounding per game. Now, total-wise, Rutgers saw their last 3 straight fall under the number. Those were unders against the likes of Iowa, Maryland, and Penn State. Meanwhile, Minnesota saw 5 out of their last 8 contests at the Williams Arena fall under the number themselves. I'm going to lean toward Rutgers plus 1.5 and the under 131. Next ball game, Seton Hall versus St. John's, 12 o'clock East. Seton Hall is -2.5 with the total at 156. Now, Seton Hall's had a really good stretch of games against St. John's in recent meetings. They're 7-3 straight up in their last 10 ball games against the Red Storm. And they actually averaged 76 points a game during that span. But as far as this year goes, Seton Hall actually lost 4 out of their last 6 ball games. And they covered the point spread only once during that stretch. Now, the Pirates have also struggled to shoot the basketball on the road. They're making only 27% of their three-pointers when traveling. And they're also connecting on just 39% of their shots from the field. This is a team that is not shooting the ball well away from their home court. And I'll tell you this much, as good as their defensive play has been this year, the Pirates have allowed over 82 points per contest in their last 4 ball games, throwing out that Butler contest. Seton Hall's taking on a high-powered St. John's team who scored 78 points or more in 6 out of their last 9 ball games. They've also gone 10-2 straight up on their home court, or as the official home team. Julian Champagnie, he's averaging over 21 points a game, along with 7 boards and nearly 40% shooting from three land. And speaking of three-pointers, Dylan Adai-Wusu is drilling 43% of his shots from beyond the arc, while also averaging double-digit points a game. Now, St. John's is in the top 15 in the entire country in scoring on average per contest. They're also making nearly 50% of their field goals at home. Now, total-wise, the Red Storm went 70% to the over in their last 10 ball games, 8-4 to the over in front of their home crowd. Meanwhile, Seton Hall went 60% to the over in their last 10 themselves. I'm going to lead towards St. John's plus 2.5 and the over 156. Next ball game, it is going to be Kentucky versus Auburn, 1 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Auburn's minus 3.5 with the total at 148. Now, the Tigers are on a 14-game winning streak, and they remain undefeated at home. As a matter of fact, Auburn lost only 1 game all season long thus far, and they're limiting their opponents to just 60 points a game on their home court. Matter of fact, the Tigers are holding their competition to just 36% shooting from the field in front of their home fans as well. And when it comes to the scoring in this one, Jabari Smith, he's drilling 43% of his three balls, and he's also averaging over 15.5 points a game. Meanwhile, Wendell Green Jr. is scoring over 13 points a night himself, along with 4 boards and 5 assists. Now, the Tigers are in the top 20 in the nation in scoring on average per game. They're also amongst the better offensive rebounding teams in the SEC. They're taking on a Kentucky squad who failed to cover in 3 out of their last 5 ball games. And when it comes to straight up wins and losses, well, Kentucky suffered all 3 of their losses this season away from their home court. Now, the Wildcats are averaging only 67 points a game when they travel this year, and they're also shooting just 29% from beyond the arc in that very same category. Now, total-wise, the Wildcats are 4-0 to the under as the official road team. They also went 70% to the under in their last 10 meetings with Auburn, if you're into historical trends. Meanwhile, the Tigers, on the other side, they saw unders recently against the likes of Georgia, LSU, and St. Louis. I'm going to lean toward the Auburn Tigers minus 3.5 and the under 148. Next contest, Baylor versus Oklahoma, 3 o'clock Eastern start time. The Baylor Bears are minus 4 with the total at 136.5. But despite being favored in this one, Baylor actually failed to cover in 5 out of their last 7. And they may have to go to work here today without their leading scorer, James Akinjo. He's currently listed as questionable for today's ball game, so keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on his status if you're looking to maybe fire a bet on this game. Now, Jeremy Sochan, he's also been listed as questionable for the Bears as well. He's been a legit threat shooting from beyond the arc this year. So we got 2, pretty impactful guys on the offensive end of the court that may not be in action here today. And I'll tell you this much, Baylor, they don't really do much wrong. I mean, they're a great team. But they have really stunk it up on the foul line. I know that's kind of nitpicking, but they're shooting just 62% from the stripe on the road this year. And they've also struggled to get offensive boards when traveling. So, like I said, there's really not much they do wrong. But if I had to nitpick, 2 very small holes there in the armor. But anyway, they're taking on a Sooner program who's won 8 of 10 at home this year, and they're limiting their opponents to just 59 points a game at the Lloyd Noble Center. As a matter of fact, the Bears are limiting their competition to just 38% shooting from the field in front of their home crowd. Now, scoring-wise, 6'10" Tanner Groves, he's averaging nearly 13 points a game, along with 5 boards and a couple assists. Meanwhile, Umoja Gibson is scoring over 12 points a game himself, along with 2 boards and 93% shooting from the stripe. And speaking of shooting the basketball, the Sooners are actually in the top 15 in the nation in offensive field goal percentage. Now, total-wise, Oklahoma saw overs recently against the likes of Iowa State, Kansas State, and this very Baylor team. Meanwhile, the Bears on the other side of things, well, they went 7-2 to the over in their last 9 themselves. I'm going to lean toward Oklahoma +4 in the over 136.5. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our quick pick recap. Powered to you by my website at brockpage.com, where we are currently 2-0 in our last two $1.99 daily best plays. I like Rutgers +1.5 under 131. Give me St. John's +2.5 over 156. I like Auburn -3.5 under 148. Give me Oklahoma +4 over 136.5. And as far as all the other games go across the country, please feel free to check out my quick pick recap text version in the comments section below. There's hundreds and hundreds of games. I just don't have time, and you don't have time for me to just name them off. So just go ahead and take a look in the comment section below. I got every pick for all the games listed in the comments section. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my website at brockpage.com. Now, if you guys do end up, deciding to get a membership here today on my safe and secure website, just keep in mind you're going to get billed the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you do end up getting a membership here today on brockpage.com, you are going to get access to that content all the way through the end of January. But I do always tell folks in every single video, the earlier in the month you sign up, the better. Also, guys, if you want to get access to every single bet that I make, you may want to, every single bet that I make personally, you may want to think about signing up for my board member package. And board members get access to every single bet that I make, every single pick that I give out on that website, all the way through the end of January as well. Also doing, pretty good on our board member tier package over the past couple of days or so. But anyway, guys, most importantly, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, guys, happy Saturday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at brockpage.com.